Hello, my yarny friends. I'm Sara Sach, and welcome to Friday Fun Day with Sara. Now, today we have a fun little project to get us started with some Valentine's Day decorations. What we did is we made these sparkle Valentines. And of course, you can make them in whatever colors that you want to. I just used some leftover yarns that I had in my yarn stash. I used all medium weight number 4s, but we'll talk more about supplies in just a second. What you can do with these cute little hearts is you can leave the bow off and use it as a coaster. You can decorate with them. If you're having a Valentine's Day party or a get-together, you can use them for place markers. Make them in lots of different colors. You don't have to make them in traditional colors. I just did these because it was yarn I had on hand. Now, the pattern is on my blog as always, and I'll put that blog link down in the notes underneath this video. Now, let's talk about what you need to make some. To make our sparkle hearts, you just need to get into your yarn stash and pull out some colors that you love. They do not have to be sparkle. I just chose sparkles because I like sparkle yarn for decorations. These two colors, this magenta and this silver, are Karen Party Sparkle. This is Red Heart Shimmer, and I'm going to use this for the main portion of my heart. And this is, I love this yarn from Hobby Lobby, white in the metallic, and I'm going to use that for the trim and the bow. It takes less than an ounce to make these little 5-inch hearts. Now, I have some other things out here because you don't have to do the bow. You can add the bow and add a button. Say you're making this for someone who loves puppies. Here's a dog bone in gold sparkle. You could add hearts, flowers, whatever you want to, whatever your theme is for your get-together or the person that you're giving this to. Just have some fun with it, get in your yarn stash, and just make whatever colors that you want to. Just make sure it's medium weight number 4 yarn. We're going to be stitching today with our H hook, which is a 5.0 millimeter crochet hook. And then you'll need a needle for weaving in ends. And if you're going to put a button on it, you'll need to sew that button on. So we're going to start in the center and work out. And so we're going to begin with our slip knot using our main color. And we're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to join this chain 5 into a circle. So we'll put the tail of yarn over our hook and pull it through that loop. Now, if you would prefer to use the magic circle here, you certainly can. I'm going to tie that little stay knot so my loop doesn't come undone. There we go. Put our hook in, pull up a loop, and chain 3. Now we're going to stitch 2 more double crochets because our chain 3 counts as our first. Yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, and go through the second 2. So now I have 3 double crochets. I'm going to chain 2. And now I'm going to repeat that 3 more times. So we'll have 4 sets of 3 double crochets, chain 2. You'll also notice I'm stitching over my tail of yarn. And that's so I can close up that hole in the center, because we don't want a hole in the center of our heart. There we go. Chain 2, and we need to do this 1 more time. 3 double crochets, chain 2. Chain 2, we're going to join to the chain 3 with a slip stitch. Now we're going to slip stitch in the next 2 double crochets. 1, 2, slip stitch in that next chain 2 space and chain 3. So basically, we've made the beginning of a granny square. We have 4 sets of 3 double crochets, chain 2. Now we're going to turn this over. We're going to gently pull on that string, close up that heart, and we're going to go ahead and weave this end in. Now you can wait till the end if you want to. I just like to go ahead, get it done, and it's out of the way, and I don't have to worry about it. All right, we'll go ahead and clip that. And that ends all weaved in. I don't have to worry about it. All right, let's do row or round 2. Our chain 3 counts as 1 double crochet, and we're going to stitch 2 more in this chain 2 space. Chain 2, and now we're going to stitch 3 double crochets in this same chain 2 space. Chain 2. So we have 3 double crochets because our chain 3 counted as our first, chain 2, and 3 double crochets, chain 2. Now we'll move to our next chain 2 space and stitch 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets in this same chain 2 space. 1, 2, and 3, and chain 2. And now we'll just repeat this on these next 2 chain 2 spaces. I completed those last 2 corners, so now we have 4 corners with 3 double crochets, chain 2, and 3 double crochets, chain 2. Here's my last chain 2. I'm going to join to the chain 3 with a slip stitch. I'm going to slip stitch in those 2 double crochets. Then I'll slip stitch in that chain 2 space and only chain 1. And this is how row 2 should look. So now on row 3, we're going to begin forming the shape of the heart. So in this chain 2 space, we're going to stitch a single crochet. Now we're going to move to this chain 2 space, and in this chain 2 space, we're going to stitch 2 double crochets. 1, 2. Now we're going to stitch 4 triples. So you'll put 2 wraps loosely on your hook, go in the same chain 2 space, go yarn over, go through the first 2, yarn over, go through the second 2, yarn over, and go through the third 2 loops. So there's 1, oops, 2, 3, and 4 triples. Now we're going to stitch 2 more doubles in this same chain 2 space. So yarn over just 1 time. Alrighty, now we're going to go to the next chain 2 space and stitch a single crochet. Alright, so we formed the first heart bump or hump. We single crocheted in this first corner, and then in the chain 2 space we stitched 2 double crochets, 4 triples, and 2 double crochets, and then single crocheted in that next chain 2 space. Now we're going to repeat what we did here in this chain 2 space. So we'll stitch 2 double crochets, 1, 2, and then 4 triple stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 2 double crochets and 4 triples. Now we'll stitch 2 more double crochets in that same chain 2 space. And then single crochet in that next chain 2 space. So now we have the 2 humps or bumps for our heart stitched. All right, now we're going to work down to the point of our heart. So we're going to stitch a single crochet in these 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. We're going to stitch 2 single crochets in this chain 2 space. Then we'll stitch 1 single crochet in the next 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3. And now this brings us to the point of our heart. In the point of our heart, we're going to stitch 2 single crochets. 1, 2. We're going to chain 1 and then stitch 2 more single crochets in that same chain 2 space. And that's going to give us a nice point at the bottom of our heart. So now we're just going to work back up here the way we did here. 1 single crochet in those 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. 2 single crochets in the chain 2 space, and 1 single crochet in these 3 double crochets. Now we need to go around where we added those slip stitches so that it looks nice and even. Then we'll join to that first single crochet with a slip stitch, and we'll cut our yarn. But don't weave in because we're going to add color 2 to add our trim. And this is how that it should look. We've got our 2 heart humps and our point of the shape of our heart. Now we're going to add that cute little Picot trim. So we're going to bring in our color 2. Those out of the way there. We're going to single crochet in the next 2 stitches. 1, 2, chain 3 and slip stitch in the top of that last stitch. All right, single crochet in the next 2 stitches and chain 3 and then slip stitch in the top of that last stitch. All right, and so this is how we'll work our trim around the heart. 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches and then picot, which is chain 3 and then slip stitch in the top of that stitch. And I like to go through both those loops at the top. I think it helps it lay better. All right. One, 2, 3, chain 3, then slip stitch in the top of that stitch. And we just do this working all the way around the outside edge of our heart. Makes it look like it has a little bit of a lacy edge. And we'll just do this working all the way around the outside edge of our heart. So I've stitched all the way around, stitching 2 single crochets with a picot in the second stitch. All right, now we're going to stitch in that last stitch and then join to that first single crochet and tie off. All right, now I'm going to bring that loop to the back from the front so that it lays pretty. Looks super cute. Now we'll turn it over and we'll weave in all these ends, and then I'll show you how to add a bow or a button or both, and the tie if you want to hang it up. All right, let's put all the finishing touches on our heart. Now, if I'm going to use this as a coaster, I would leave it just like that. Put my coffee cup or glass of water right on that coaster. But I want to use these as decorations. All right, so what I did is I took my color that I used for my trim and I chained 35 chains. I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Tie that off, make a knot on both ends so it doesn't come undone. Knot the other end. And I've decided I want to put a bow and a button. So first I'm going to add this chain as a bow. So I'm going to go in the side here and grab one side. Then I'll go in this other side and bring that up. All right, so I'm going to even everything out and tie a nice bow. And I'm doing the rabbit ear style with 2 loops so that it lays nice and pretty. All right, so there's my bow. But I also want to add this little button. So I'm going to get another piece of my white yarn, thread it on my needle. There we go. And I'm just going to make a loop right in my bow. That's so my yarn doesn't come out. All right, now this one is up and down, so we're going to make our loops go up and down. And I'm not too worried about putting a bunch of loops through there because I'm not going to be buttoning and unbutton this button. It's purely decorative. So I did 2 loops plus the original one, and I'm just going to tie this on. Now, if you don't want to put the bow on there, you can just put your button right in the center of your heart. Okay, and so I've got my bow on my bone and my bow on there to represent my Valentine that is Maximo. We're calling Maximo my puppy Valentine. Because remember, Valentine's Day isn't just about young lovers in love. It's also about all the people that we care about in our life. All right, now I am going to just add this string so I can hang it up, and I'm going to go in this chain 2 space. Get a hold of that thing. And just loop that through, just like that. Snug that down, and then I'll tie a knot up here. This way I can hang it up if I want to. You can also make a bunch of these and make a bunting. That'd be really cute for Valentine decorations. And the reason I like to do it this way is it kind of helps pull it in so that it keeps the shape of the heart. Although I've got one of my picots right there, so it's a little off center. But I don't care. It still looks absolutely gorgeous. Now, the last thing I do want to say is if you're not happy with how the shape is laying out, you can lay these out on a blocking board or on a towel, spritz them with just a little bit of water, pin them in place, and let them dry. My favorite place to let them dry is on the dryer in my laundry room. Or if you have a spot that has a sunny spot. But anywho, that's how you make our sparkle hearts. Isn't that so much fun and super easy? And there's so many things that you can do with these hearts. You can make a bunting. You can use it for a coaster, hang them up for decorations, a gift tag, and a place marker. And you can make these from your leftover yarns. So go crazy. Get in your yarn stash and make a whole bunch in your favorite colors. I'll see you next Friday for Friday Fun with Sara. Bye-bye now.